Hello, my name is Amy, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques, and it's a fun and easy way to get imagery into your work. The goal for today is to make an acrylic skin. Those of you not familiar with acrylic skins, they are a piece of paint that has peeled back from a surface that it does not adhere to. So instead of painting this onto canvas or a panel, you can paint it onto things like glass and freezer paper, also sheet protectors, and then let it dry and it will peel off. So I want to make a translucent paint skin that I can lay down on top of an image so that it simulates the look of tracing paper. I'm using a material called Acrylic Ground for Pastels. I featured it in my last video. It's made by Golden Artist Colors. It dries with a translucency to it, so it's not completely transparent. It has some haziness to it that simulates the look of a tracing paper. And it also has this lovely grit to it, so when I lay it down over something and I draw with pencil, I can pick up these really lovely pencil lines. To make my acrylic skin today, what I'm using is a sheet protector. They come from the office supply store, and you can buy them in packages of up to, I think, 200. And it's got this nice smooth plastic finish that acrylic paint will not permanently adhere to. So then what I want to do is grab my Acrylic Ground for Pastels. I'm going to scoop it out and put it on my sheet protector. I want to make sure that I have enough to cover whatever surface area I'm going to need to trace, but sometimes I'll make a bigger one and then cut multiple shapes out of the same acrylic skin. I want to make sure that this is thick enough that when it dries, it can peel back. If I have it too thin, really thin, and I'm doing this on black so that you can see the black through my layer, but if this is really thin, it's going to start to look darker because the black shows through. Something like this might be a little too thin. So I want to try to aim for something about 1/8 of an inch thick, and then I'm going to cover my whole sheet protector. My acrylic ground for pastels is now smoothed around, and you can see that there's a little bit of texture there, and that's okay. Sometimes it's fun to have a little bit of texture peeking out underneath my image. So I'm going to let this dry and cure. It's going to take about 24 hours. So I want to make sure that this is dry enough to the touch and also cured enough that I can peel it off of the sheet protector. Okay, my acrylic skin is dry, and what I've done is I've cut it in half because I'm only going to use a section of this, so I've saved the other half for later. And I can start to trace an image. So I have a bird, and I can lay this down. On top of my bird, you can see that I can see through the acrylic ground for pastels. And what I usually like to do is to leave it on that sheet protector until I'm ready to remove the acrylic skin and cut around it. Personal preference there. You could also remove the acrylic skin from the sheet protector, then lay this down on your image. You can use a variety of dry media on this surface. It is called Acrylic Ground for Pastels because it's a really great surface for soft pastels. But what I have here today is a watercolor pencil, which I also really love on this surface because not only will the gritty surface of this acrylic ground pick up dry media, it'll also pick up wet media really nicely. So the watercolor pencil to draw the lines of my bird onto that acrylic ground for pastels, then took some clean water on a brush to animate the color in the pencil. Now this is a much simpler way of adding color to the bird. Certainly with my other birds, I have spent a longer time, days, weeks, maybe months, rendering the color over my acrylic skin. But when you are ready to collage it to another surface, all you have to do is get some scissors and figure out which edge you want to follow, cut this out, and glue it down like it was paper. So for that, I really like to use Golden Acrylics soft gel, either gloss or matte. The sheen doesn't really matter, but put that on the back side of the acrylic skin. whatever side's going to touch the surface you glue this onto, and then glue it down. So this will work on canvas, on panel, on papers, on plexiglass, whatever you want to make your collage onto, and certainly it can be painted even more once it is glued down.